See, I tried to tell y'all about Manscaped a while ago, but you didn't listen. This stopped being about nuts a long time ago. Manscaped is for your overall grooming experience, for your overall hygiene experience. Now we have the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. You can look all up in this little box right here that Manscaped provided for me, and you be like, well, Voch, if this is supposed to be a top tier beard trimmer, where's all the guards, Voch? How do I adjust the length for my beard? Let me tell you something, man. Manscaped is pushing the envelope. They have an internal beard length adjustment trimmer. This has 20 different notches on it for 20 different lengths. And just look. Come on, bro. That's 20 different notches. So whether you got a beard like me or a beard like Law Nation, we got something for you. Easy to clean. You pop this thing right off, clean it up, pop it right back on. And it is waterproof anyway, so it shouldn't be getting super duper dirty anyway. Inside of this kit, man, we have beard conditioner, beard balm. We have a beard shampoo and a beard oil. One day my beard is going to get thick enough to use some beard oil, but you get a free gift that comes with this package. You get a beard brush, a beard comb, and beard scissors. So when you do have that big, thick, long beard, you just want to make those small adjustments, right? Manscaped sends you some beard scissors on the house. You can't beat this deal with a stick. So listen, man, go get you one of these, man. Use promo code VOCH20 for 20% off and free shipping, and they ship internationally. Listen, man, it's normally your balls will thank you, but we got beard trimmers, so now your beard will thank you, your face will thank you. We're gonna stick with beard. Your beard will thank you.
Beats Planet.
Come on in. Man, look, man, I badly want to make it a way where y'all can see some of the behind the scenes stuff me and Will be talking about, we be going through prior to the show, man, but it'll just get us canceled, bro. Not all the time. Sometimes it'll definitely get us canceled. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fellas dropped. You know what I mean? A lot of mean things said about people. A
lot of Bob Cousies.
A lot of Bob Cousies in there. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So, man, listen, chat. While I was just sitting around minding my business, just minding my business. I'm just playing Sekiro. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready to get on Twitch and all that. And boy, man, Jerry Jones is like Christmas and Easter, man. That boy ain't got no class, Will Steele. Like right when the Eagles is raising their conference championship trophy and they doing their interviews, blah, we get news. So we got to talk about the news. I went live yesterday, called Footsie King, but now we kind of had a little bit of time to sleep and think about it and react to it. So we definitely going to be getting into that today. How you doing, sir? Everything cool with you, first of all?
Everything, man. It's still a weird part of the, do we call it off season? I don't even know what to call this right now, but it's the weird part.
Look, football season is done. I don't give a what's going on the rest of this year. It is over with.
I wasn't ready, man.
Nah. And look, man, I ain't going to be a hater necessarily. You know what I mean? But we had this conversation where we was like, hey, man, if the Cowboys was to go to the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? Would you want that redemption tour or would you want the path of least resistance?
I would have took the Eagles path all day tomorrow.
Oh, Will Steele. Look, man, there's a part of me that's like, yo, man, if I'm going to go to the Super Bowl, I want it to mean something. If I'm going to go to the Super Bowl, I want to snatch down the ops on my way up. But, man, after this mess, if I can go to the Super Bowl by beating Daniel Jones and Josh Johnson, shit, sign me up.
We said that. Didn't we say that like week 15, 14, something like that? And they really got that round up there. But listen, no knock on them. They did everything. They were one of the best teams regardless. But I just think that was so interesting. They got that slate of games.
I blame the shit on Kirk Cousins, man. It's his fault. Him losing to the Giants, you know what I mean, made us play San Francisco rather than us playing Minnesota, bro. Like this all Kirk Cousins' fault. And I'm just sitting up here like, they in the Super Bowl, so they get the bragging rights, right? Nobody wants to hear, motherfucker, you beat Daniel Jones and Josh Johnson to get that. Ain't nobody gonna want to hear that, man. They there. And God forbid they beat Pat. You know what I'm saying? The rest of that shit ain't gonna matter if they beat Pat. But before we get into the Kellen news, Will, watching those games, man, it just became shockingly obvious that, and just giving you some more credit, bro. Like better dudes, man. You need them. You need them, man. I said this on the live show yesterday, just in case y'all didn't catch that one. It's like every time somebody on the Eagles defense made a play, it was a motherfucker that just wasn't there at first.
Right, that they signed or something, yeah.
Hassan Reddick made a play, and Dominic
Joseph.
You know what I mean? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and making plays. I'm like, man, all these, like, they ain't draft none of it. Like, they drafted some guys, of course, but for the most part, they went and they just got better, man. They went and got dudes, man. We don't like to give Eagles too much credit around here because, they fans be a little extra, man. But, if there's a blueprint I would love for my Cowboys to follow this offseason, it'll be that. Like, we've taken the time to do the draft work. We've drafted well for years at this point. But it's just something different that you take that team that you built with the draft and then you compare it to all the other teams, right? The Cowboys have created a top team just drafting. But the problem is all the other top teams not satisfied with just being good, Will. The San Francisco, they already had the best running game in the world, but they're going to add the best running back to it. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles already had this loaded ass roster. We just going to keep adding. Salary cap is a myth, bro. We just going to keep adding. And of course, I don't think this ties directly into Kellen Moore because I think that the front office was already ready to move on from Kellen Moore. We're going to talk about that a bunch. But I just think when we was watching the games yesterday, Will, Steele, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'd be doing a lot of shit different. But if I'm Jerry Jones, right, I'm seeing what a good offense coordinator can do for you. I'm seeing what a good offensive scheme can do for you. Not saying that motherfuckers waited till these games came on to fire Kellen Moore because, okay, well, if they gonna win, then we fire Kellen Moore. You know what I mean? I want to see everybody else be trash. You know what I mean? But seeing Jalen Hurts not be great, and they just go, fuck it, we're gonna lean on Gainwell and run game. It was inspiring. Like y'all know how I feel about the Eagles folks, man. But that shit was inspiring. Cause look, I'm a character that's been talking shit about Jalen Hurts for weeks, months, years, really, real in real life. And it's like, man, whenever Jalen Hurts start to show who he is, man, whenever they dial them blitzes up, whenever he start missing reads and running around and shit, they go, F this, I'm out, man. And they just lean on run game. And it works. They lean on run game, Will, Steele. And you always talk about, man, if this don't work, what can you lean on?
Yep. If
your quarterback having a bad day, what can we go back to? All that Brock Purdy putting up 30-something points and shit, Brock Purdy go away. All right, man, we just got to lean on Christian McCaffrey. We got to lean on Christian McCaffrey. And the game was close for a little bit, Will, Steele, but a turnover here, a non-challenge there, a defensive implosion here, Trent Williams picking on little people there. You know what I'm saying? It kind of got away from San Fran, but at least they can lean on run game if bad things happen with your quarterback play. Now, Will, I was watching it and I just pondered to myself. I was like, man, you mean to tell me that MVP candidate Jalen Hurts, top 5, and I'm air quoting shot, the top 5 quarterback Jalen Hurts is struggling versus San Francisco defense like my quarterback did. And I ain't gonna, whatever. But the difference is when they plan A didn't work, them fuckers had a plan B and C.
Yeah.
If Cowboys plan A don't work, we just gonna keep banging plan A up the goddamn wall until that bitch break or we break.
Yeah.
And I go, damn, this shit is inspiring. I hate it gotta be them dudes, Will Steele. Don't get me wrong. I hate it gotta be them dudes that inspire me. Phil Collins' face is what I did. I'm like, bro, these motherfuckers is up here going away from plan A, B, and C. And my beloved Dallas Cowboys ain't got none of them play, which is why I also feel Collins face people that go, oh, the Cowboys had plenty talent this year. I'm like, man, when Tony got hurt, man, and Dak wasn't playing well, what was our plan B? What was the plan C? Do we have a plan D? So some of the big conversation, that's been revolving around Kellen Moore getting fired. It ain't whether Kellen Moore is a good offense coordinator or not. That fucker ain't got a plan B, Will Steele. And this is a team that needed a plan B, C, or D. I think he's going to move on to do great things, with the Chargers and all that. They got wide receiver help over there. There's about to be some curls over that bitch. They're going to run some curls over there.
But
they got what?
Austin Eckler ain't getting 107 receptions.
Oh, no, sir. I bet I ain't drafting no fucking Austin Eckler. Look, Will Steele, you think I'm drafting Austin Eckler?
He ain't getting 107 receptions. I'll tell you that much. He still might be all right, but he ain't getting 100. He had 177 receptions over the last 2 years.
177 receptions over 2 years.
Yeah.
Poor Austin. Austin finna be getting all them damn dirty yard carries, boy. Austin finna be banging his head in the A, just banging his head in the plan B, banging up against that wall, Will Steele. So we get the news, the whole Kellen Moore news. And I'm just reading the tweets, Will Steele, and you know my favorite game. You know what I'm saying? I say, so Kellen didn't get fired with everybody else, and they mutually parted ways. McCarthy needed a couple more days to evaluate. Less than 24 hours, he with the Chargers. Somebody lying. You know what I'm saying? I think we were, and when I say we, I don't mean like me and Will Steele. I mean, yeah, me and Will Steele, but just in this situation, we like them, the front office, right? I think we was just over Kellen Moore at this point. And, I think we was just leaving on good terms. Me and Will Steele was, making jokes. These are jokes that we can say about backstage. When we mutually parted ways with Jason Garrett, we at least let Jason Garrett do his, in-season interviews. You know what I mean? We let him walk around and get breakfast one last time. We didn't charge him extra for the breakfast. He had the coach fee for the breakfast. You know what I mean? We let him rub his desk before he walked out. We let him turn off the light switch and close the door in his office. You know what I mean? And it was like, all right, y'all, we mutually parted ways. But fucking Jason Garrett got fired, man. Jason Garrett got fired. And Kellen Moore got fired. When did Kellen Moore get fired? When did we decide that Kellen Moore got fired? Whether it was after San Francisco, whether it was a couple days after Mike McCarthy had some days to think about it, after we saw how good the Eagles were with their plan B, C, or D. I don't know when exactly Kellen Moore got fired. But Kellen Moore absolutely got fired, Will Steele. And now he's on to bigger and better things. But we said this, I'm going to let you go on this. We said that it's only a small bit of things you could do to get better. There's a lot of ways to get worse. And that's going to be the scary thing moving forward. I've been hearing a lot of Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer, Bobby Schottenheimer, B-word, Schottenheimer, what is his name?
Yeah, well, Brian talked today. He's hearing in the building that's not the case. So Schottenheimer may not be the offensive coordinator.
So we don't know what the fuck going on.
No, all we know is reports. David Moore said that McCarthy will be calling plays, but who's going to be helping McCarthy, right? Because it's obviously you need to have offensive room, and he got rid of half of the offensive staff. Which again, go ahead.
It's interesting, man. I just love to give you credit, man. Give you props and your flowers, man. I asked you this question yesterday, man. You was like, shit, I don't know. I need more time. I was like, come on, Will, don't leave me hanging, man. The more I think about this shit, we don't know what the hell going on. We need more time, man.
Yeah, I don't. It's so ass backwards. Right? They let go of all the assistants, and then it was like, well, we're evaluating Kellen. Well, you ain't evaluating him. You're a lot. He's going to. It's just a matter of will he get hired as a head coach, so you don't got to deal with the financial situation, right? Or do you have to, air quotes, mutually agree, right? Just like Jason Garrett mutually didn't agree to not come back. Now Kellen Moore is mutually agreeing to part ways. Look, man. I have no idea who they're going to bring in as the OC, another air quotes. But it sounds like, according to reports, McCarthy is going to be calling the plays. But whoever they bring in to help McCarthy, I think is going to be important.
Mike McCarthy is a guy that, loves to call plays. I mean, I didn't ask him, but he's on record saying that he loves to call plays. But he also on record for saying, as a head coach, he got a lot of shit to do, and calling plays get hectic while he got other head coach shit to do. So...
But you know what? The more I think about this Mike McCarthy calling plays, everyone is saying, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down my way or whatnot. One of the main issues I had with Kellen Moore, aside from like the week-to-week game plan and stuff, was everybody say, well, the front office is dictating what he do. Well, then grow some balls, Kellen. Tell him fire me. I'm gonna continue to do what I believe works best for this team. Because that's everybody's fallback. Well, the front office isn't letting Kellen Moore do this. You know who I don't think is going to be scared to piss off the front office? Because if he lose, he fired anyway? Mike McCarthy.
Yes.
I feel like Mike McCarthy got way more.
He got one last hurrah at this shit.
Mike McCarthy wasn't molded by Jerry Jones. He wasn't born in it. He didn't become blinded when he saw the light. Mike McCarthy come from Green Bay. He won the Super Bowl. He was with Bill Walsh and them dudes or whatever, right? He was in with New Orleans. He was in San Fran. He was in, he has an entirely different track record, and it's longer than Kellen Moore's of success. So I feel like McCarthy would be the one to say, man, screw you, Jerry. I mean, I'm not running Ezekiel Elliott up the A gap on first and second down every play.
What you gonna fire me?
Fire? We'll do it. Right. And if I'm fired already, if I don't make the Super Bowl, then just do it.
And meanwhile, Will Steele, all this chaos is going on. Dan Quinn just walk around. It just happened to the motherfucker. He's just waiting on his look. I got one more year of this DC shit. I'm either finna be a head coach somewhere else. I'm gonna be a head coach here. And look, to be fair, I'd love to have Dan Quinn here. I'd rather have Dan Quinn than Sean Payton, actually. But I just don't think that Mike McCarthy's gonna be calling plays by the time we get to September. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, we don't know where this report came from. I mean, like David Moore said it.
Yeah, David's close. He's close to the organization, but I think he's the only one that I've seen report that McCarthy is calling plays. McCarthy hasn't come out and spoke yet. Jerry hasn't spoke yet. But that's what we have right now is David Moore saying McCarthy's calling the plays. Yeah. Which I think it makes it hard to get an OC, Voch.
Yes, Will Steele. Because in this interview process, if I'm an offense coordinator, what I want to hear is, all right, Voch, you got the keys. Voch, we hiring you to be the new OC. You got the keys. You going to sign here and I'm like, cool, I got the keys, cool. I don't want to sign nowhere and be like, all right, Voch, you got the keys sometimes, and Mike may do it, and depending on how you do, Mike might, micromanage you. Hey, yo, Mike nervous, man, because he might get fired and shit. Dan Quinn over there whistling and shit, but Mike might, you know what I mean? So, Mike may be on, on your back a little bit. And I don't think nobody wants to be a part of this situation. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody that's established already wants to be a part of that situation. Now, if you find some young quarterback coach, some assistant quality control coffee getter, and, he's a good offensive mind, you want him to come in and be like a play caller type guy, then maybe you can kind of boss that dude around a little bit. But I see a lot of Cowboy fans talking about Voch, can we get this guy, Bieniemy? Man, Bieniemy, he ain't finna come up in here and Mike McCarthy over his shoulder.
Yeah, I think that's too drastic of I think Bieniemy wants to run his own ship. That's why there's a little bit of, discourse in Kansas City because he's putting together the plans and then Reed is calling the plays, but it's not his ship and he ain't Will McClay happy to be here in his role. He wants his own thing.
Sure. But hey, the good part about this, Will, still is we got a long time between now and when it's time. What's up with you? Got a long time between.
What's up with you?
What up, Jody? Got a long time between now and then. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of content that we can. What's up?
Taking me to dojo. I'm ready.
What's that? It ain't time yet. What's up? Okay, cool. You can't go outside because it's cold outside. So go watch TV. You cannot go outside.
Go read a book.
Because it's cold outside. But I'm working. Go. I'm working. No, because it ain't getting hot today.
Heads and beds.
Heads and beds. Goddamn. Anyway, what was I saying? So we got a long time between, then and now to actually get this thing worked out. But I don't know how much of a fan I am of Mike McCarthy call play because it's easier to get worse than better. I don't think that it's going to take big change, right? I don't think Kellen Moore was necessarily terrible. You know what I mean? I just wanted Kellen Moore to do different things here and there. So do you think it could be a situation where we keep the same everything? We keep the same scheme, we keep the same verbiage, we keep the same book. However, we just don't run triple reverse turpin passes. We run the ball with Tony, we throw the ball to Tony, we don't forget to put CeeDee Lamb in motion. You know what I mean? We do smart things, we don't run as many curls. That makes sense to you, Will, still?
I think they will keep what they believe are advantageous plays or plays that work well. But part of me believes that McCarthy has a principle, a core principle on what he wants his offense to look like. And clearly, it's of the West Coast variety. He talks about it a ton. I brought up a clip earlier today that I played earlier this year after one of the games where he talked about, man, I'm glad you asked me this question about option routes. And we've been talking about these option routes all year. And he said, option routes puts the option in the receiver's hands, right? Like the quarterback has to wait for the receiver, and he doesn't like it. He said those are usually just for maybe one guy that has that chemistry. And the dude that you took away from Dak that had the most chemistry with Dak was Cooper. Right? Like Cooper played with Dak the longest. Now he's going. Now you got a bunch of guys that that haven't really been with Dak Prescott for years on end, and you're implementing option routes. And he said, man, this is the most aggressive option route offense I've ever been in. Notice he said, I've ever been in. This ain't my offense.
Yeah.
I stepped into this. So I feel like McCarthy is going to change some of the core principles of what they do. Me personally, I hope it's more West Coast stuff. Under center, shotgun, play action, boots, right? Deep shots, overs, things in the middle of the field where it's not like option route middle of the field, but I got a guy on a shallow or meshes and things like that. And then you take it. I mean, that's what Philly does. Philly really doesn't complicate things, man. Why do you think people running wide open? It's 9 routes, it's overs, and it's tight ends and it's screens.
Yep. And I think that'll be better for Dak. You know what I mean? Because Dak is a shoulder-up guy anyway. So the simpler it is for a smart shoulder-up guy, it'd be cool. And on top of Dak being a shoulder-up guy, and I don't know where I said this, but I feel like I said it before, I don't think CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup are shoulder-up guys. I think they're more Dez Bryant type guys than Amari Cooper guys. You know what I mean? Like not like physical skill set, but Dez wasn't the shoulder-up guy.
No.
Dez was let me make a play guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cooper's a smarter guy. Cole Beasley, Witten's a smarter guy. I ain't calling Gallup and them.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? So you might just want to make it easier for them. Gallup seems to be a guy to where he's cool with his role as being just a big muscle guy, just being a muscle you guy. So let's not do technical things with Gallup. Let's just let him do muscle you guy things. You know what I mean? Just give CD. Bro, AJ Brown ain't doing a whole bunch of technical shit.
No.
He's running across the formation. He's getting the ball early. He's being yak guy, man. Or he's running a 9 route. We ain't got to be complicated with this. Funny story, Will Steele. I try to help the youth as much as I can, right? You know what I mean? I wish I could save everyone because I'm a dreamer, but I had to pull this small little flex out, right? Somebody hit my YouTube, right? Let me run over here and check the comments. Somebody hit my YouTube and it was like, if Dak can't handle a simple playbook, what makes you think he's going to be better with a more complex play caller? And I was like, but listen, the playbook not simple. And he was like, everybody I know say that the playbook's simple, but then I had to stun and be like, but Will Greer said it ain't.
Facts.
Don't mind your sources, cuz. Don't mind your sources, cuz. We do this. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's. I mean, you said it. You already said it. Granted, you could say, well, he's a third string quarterback, whatever. I mean, he's a quarterback. He was saying it is a complicated ask for the Q, and he was saying how fortunate it was to have a quarterback who's been in it. All right, it ain't that Dak know the damn playbook. That's not the issue. That's not the issue at all. But most of it is contingent on, at least this year, what happens post snap based off of the options and whatnot. And you think smart defensive coordinators don't pick up on that stuff, man? So now what can we fall back on? Or if we can't fall back on anything, forward, you need to elevate. And he didn't. That's just flat out. He played bad in the spots they needed him to play good, right? And that's just the way it's going to be. If you'd have brought Kellen back again, I think we'd have been doing the same thing again. Something had to change.
Yep. But you know how it go, Will Steele. You know how it go.
The conference has been locked.
Easy peasy lemon squeeze. I do find it funny. There was this one Twitter dude or whatever. He like he blew up or whatever. He did the whole new team fan application or whatever. And he went to the Chargers or whatever. It's just funny. Kellen Moore followed him over there. I just thought
I remember that guy from last year. How weird? What kind of weird fan behavior is that?
That's madness, bro. If you would cheat on your team, you would cheat on your wife, man. That's
I mean,
nonsense.
a little kid, I understand. A grown man put out a press release of denouncing his fandom and going to the Chargers is wild. And again, I think he'll, like you said, I think he'll do well over there in LA in regards to, you know, the numbers and whatnot. But we'll see. I mean, we're not going to be as in tune as we were with the Cowboys, but we'll see if those situational moments are still an issue or if he continues to learn and grow.
Yeah. Grown men pouting, man. Sad scene. So listen, y'all. That is your analysis for today. Shouts out to Will. Yo, this job really gets easier, Will Steele. Like, we show up, do the intro, we back and forth for a little bit, we go to the calls, we just clock out. Now, one day the volume going to pay us more money. We might do a 2-hour show one day, but we'll figure it out across the road whenever we get there. But this hour show, like, we got the format.
Man, I absolutely love having a partner. I love having a partner. Zach, I mean, go ahead.
Boy, Will Steele, if you just had just somebody to just bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, well, you know.
Might even get better content, boy.
Yeah. That's cool. We go back to them tables, boy. I tell you, yesterday's price. Never mind. Just keep going.
I ain't gonna keep going. Will Steele is a one-man wrecking crew over there. For everything that Will Steele do over on A to Z, it's what, 6 people over here? There's 6 people over here? What, me, you, Christian, Paul,
it's a
brother,
whole squad, man.
Pat. Oh, we got all kind of motherfuckers doing. Hey, man, listen, bro. They either need to come up off some bread, and look, don't say you ain't got it because we know how much you get. Look.
Hey, put that on the Patreon pre-roll, post-roll. I'm being petty.
We're moving on. We're just moving on. All right, so let's get into the calls, man. We ain't heard from Marv in a minute, man. So you know, Marv, my favorite character, man. Let's hear from Marv. What's up, Marv?
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
What's good, Playboy? What you got for the show? Time out, Marv. Stop. Time out. Real fast. Everybody listening, write this down. Put it on your calendar. Scoutcast, me and Jeff Kavanaugh tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
My bad.
Oh man, I'm just glad that they got rid of
Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin Moore.
He was a bad offensive coordinator.
Oh,
if y'all watch the plays, he always want to pass 2nd and 10. He'd be in 2nd 10 a lot, and because he want to pass all the time. I wonder what's gonna happen for San Diego now. Is that halfback they got gonna get 100 catches?
Nah. We just said that.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because this guy, his play calling was horrible. And now we're going to see the receivers. All the receivers we got, we're going to see if they really pitiful or not. Mm-hmm. Because now they ain't got to think. They just can play. That's why some of the receivers, Tolbert couldn't pick it up because he wasn't used to that system. So now we're going to see, do we really have bad receivers?
Right.
And I'm happy that he's out of here, man. Thank God.
Well, Marv, I don't think we needed Kellen to go to know that we needed help at receiver because we've been asked for help at receiver since the offseason. And you know, all we signed was a 30-year-old for Christmas, and we leaned on Noah Brown and Jalen Tolbert lined up outside. So that's we
well, you know, it's just that system, the receivers wasn't, you know, I'm watching all the other teams and they got receivers that y'all never heard of. And they got 800 to 700 yards. So why our receivers couldn't do that? It was the Kellen Moore system. I don't care what y'all say. It's Kellen Moore system that killed our receivers, our young receivers and our 5 receivers, and he never used the number 9. So I'm glad that they go to a West Coast offense, and this should make Dak Prescott be better and more precise, and we'll have a running game with it. So I'm happy, man. It's gonna help. It's gonna blend in with the defense. That's what I like about it.
Appreciate you, Marv. Good call, man.
Hey, he did say something there at the end, which I think will be fascinating. If Dan Quinn is running his own ship over there on defense,
right? If
McCarthy's going to run the ship on offense, he doesn't have that buffer anymore to have to go through, right? Which is Kellen Moore. Maybe they plan X, Y, Z during the week, and then Kellen does a triple-double dog dare annexation of Puerto Rico reverse, or he abandons the run, or Now McCarthy has to come out and say, hey, we got to be more balanced. He doesn't have that anymore. If he's really the guy, now he can meet him and Dan could be like, hey, this is what we're going to do this week. Or can I mirror what I do offensively with the defense? Because for a long time we talked about how the defense is a top defense, but you're going to need the offense to play a complementary to it because they don't got the horses this year to be like, hey, we just gonna be that offense.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, too, I want to say something else too, Will. Still, I see a lot of people that say things along the line of, well, Voch, we did have enough talent to win the Super Bowl because there were teams that were less talented than ours that won the Super Bowl. I think that's nonsense, first of all. But let's just say, for example, though, right? Let's just say, sure, it was, right? It's not, you don't grade your team, by history. You grade your team by its peers, right? So you can look at your team versus, oh, well, could we beat whoever the fuck wants, like that Seattle Seahawks team that went, not the Russell Wilson Seahawks, but like the what's the name? Them boys, right? You're not grading versus them. You grading versus Eagles, San Francisco, Chiefs, Bengals. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So if you look at the Bengals, I was almost behooved, Will Steele. They was doing the little pregame warm-up and they was telling all the players, it was like, oh boy, they got 4 Pro Bowlers on the offensive line, Voch. They got 3 pass rushers that's going to the Pro Bowl. They got 2 All-Pros over here, 2 first-round picks at wide receiver, 3 running backs that can tote the football, 3 DBs that they got in free agency and shit. And like, bro, we may have a quality team. We may have a quality Super Bowl team. This team that we have may have won the fucking Super Bowl in 2004 or whatever. But bro, we're playing against these people, right? These people that are doing extra. We didn't have the team to compete with 16 Pro Bowlers. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
we didn't have that team.
I didn't think this was a Super Bowl team to start. This is not a surprise to me. It sucks that it ended this way, but I didn't pick the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. I said, and this is on record, I said I believe their ceiling is the NFC Championship if things break their way. And that was that. And I said, I hope that to be proven wrong, that they go to the Super Bowl. But I just watched what Philly did, and I know I didn't know that San Fran was going to go on this run. But I watched what Philly did and whatnot. Your division got better, and I just didn't think we did enough. But you could have still won the game in San Fran. But I still didn't have this team as a Super Bowl team prior to the season.
And look, you absolutely could have beat them. You know what I'm saying? But I like this analogy, Winston. I love this analogy. And I didn't know if I wanted to bring it up because, this topic is a touchy topic in America. Hey, look, this ain't politics. It's just, we're just talking, right? So in case of a home invasion, right? Somebody breaking in your house to do you harm. I could defend my house with my sword, Will Steele. I could defend my house with my axe, with my little battle axe that I got up in there, Will Steele. But I also got an AR-15 in the closet. You know what I mean? So I want to put myself in best position to defend my home. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, the Cowboys could have won a Super Bowl, but I'm trying to up the odds in my favor as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it easier.
I want to make it as easy as possible, bro.
Yeah.
I want to make it as easy as possible. I don't want to just beat the ops with my goddamn pocket knife or my axe or my katana. I want to go chitty chitty bang bang. That's how I feel, right? Yes, you could win the Super Bowl with this squad, but I want to win it with a better D line and a better O line and a better wide receiver core and another gangster on the other side of Trey Diggs. That's how I want to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I use this terminology to shoot. I might have to switch it up. I said the way the Cowboys go about this, it's not impossible, I guess, to win a Super Bowl, but it's harder. But we're on the borderline of impossible because we're going at 28 years, you know. And I know they haven't been this cheap for 28 years, but whatever way they decide to go, it's not working, right? So damn near borderline impossible unless they make changes. We know where the change starts.
It's possibility and probability. That's what it is.
Okay, there you go.
But either way, Jerry Jones and them trash, they just gonna stick in their own way, and they gonna play politics, and they gonna do all this other little.
Oh, he's gonna talk it up. We gonna be at camp. We gonna yuck it all up, and we'll be right back here, man, because we're degenerate Cowboy fans. Let's just be honest.
Yep. Good talk though, Wilson. Appreciate you, man. Let's get who we haven't heard from in a minute, man. That's funny. Jake the Great, let's get you up here. We ain't heard from you in a minute. What's up, Jake the Great?
What's happening, Vibes? What's going on with you?
Hello, where you at, Jake?
You know, I'm in NASA, man. You know, flying this spaceship.
I feel you, Playboy. What you got for the show?
Nah, man, I'm just, trying to come down off this high. I've been smoking on this Kellen Moore pack since yesterday, man.
Drive safe.
Blowing on it, blowing out my nose. Before I keep puffing on this pack, How do you feel about this Kellen Moore release? Because I know a long time ago that used to be your boy.
You get new information, and you must improve. You know what I mean? You get new information, and you have to alter your opinion. I don't mind nobody changing their mind. I don't mind nobody changing their opinion. And once upon a time, look, Kellen was doing some fantastic things, man. And no matter how many times he'll do something fantastic, he'll go up and he'll get to that point where we need him to be better, and he won't be better. And it won't, and it's not even like it's kind of better. You know what I mean? Like Kellen just don't make he didn't make proper changes at all. So in my mind, when we need a defense to get better, like that Rams playoff game or whatever, our defense got way better since then. But now we need our offense to be way better since then. So whatever change we got to make, we got to change it.
Hell yeah, that's a good response. I respect that. Years ago, I'm not gonna say I know you remember, but I remember I had called him out. This clown kept calling reverses, triple reverses inside the 20. I said, Voch, man, this man is terrible. Say we got a number one off. We scored points. I said, nah, man, this man is fool's gold, man. It's gold plated. He'll shine for a little bit, but as soon as you need to take it out and go to the club, it's your gold is all colored and people call that shit fake. Yep. But I'm happy as hell that he's gone. And all I got, the only thing I got is a little constructive criticism. I want the Vibes to throw you guys another bag so y'all can make this show about 30 minutes longer, man. That's all I got, though, man.
It's on the way, man. Trust me, it's on the way. And as soon as we sign that paper, we're gonna do a long ass show to celebrate. Appreciate you, man.
All right, all day, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. King Element is a savage. Appreciate you. That was Jake the Great. Let's get what time we at? We at 3:56. All right, cool. Let's get Lamont on the phone. See what he talking about. What's up, Lamont? Everybody driving today. What's up, Lamont?
Hey, what's up, bro? I got a question to ask you because
yes, sir.
With the 26th pick, I don't see many players who help really move the needle in the draft outside of maybe drafting Osiris Torrent, which is one of my favorite prospects. I would just love to see him and Tyler Smith together, just opening holes for Tony Pollard or whoever the next running back is. If you could, and he becomes available, would you try to use that 26th pick and try to flip him to try to go get Jalen Ramsey?
Listen, man, I love you to pieces. I started 4 days ago. I don't know who that is. Look. I'm gonna know exactly who all these guys are in April, right? Like once we get to April, I'm gonna know 222 people. But I started 5 days ago. I don't know none of these people. Now, if you asking me, well, would I trade a first round pick for Jalen Ramsey? Me and Will still had that conversation. But if you're gonna measure Jalen Ramsey versus whoever you just said, I don't even know. I don't know, player.
No, so the only thing I was just saying because he's like supposedly the top rated guard, and
I bet
he battled with Jalen Carter pretty well. But
I believe you. Whoever he is.
I just wanted to just ask that question, brothers.
As soon as I watch him, I'll let you know. What school he go to?
He went to Florida. He was his name is Osiris Thomas. I think he's like number 54.
He went to Florida where? Regular Florida, University of Florida? Jalen Carter was beating the shit out of him, man. What you talking about? I got that film session ready. I'm dropping that tomorrow. What you mean?
He had some wins now. He did have some wins.
Don't change up my shit. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna look at him, man. I appreciate you, bro. Oh, Will still Jalen Carter beat the shit out of them boy. I don't want to.
That's what you got coming up next, right?
I got that coming out tomorrow, and we're actually gonna watch that tonight on Patreon, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. We're gonna be watching.
I'm leaning on you. This week I'm still getting through some early offseason stuff, but I'm leaning on you to get me in a draft situation. Hey, I just want to make a correction here. Somebody in the chat, they said this isn't the only year that Dak was throwing interceptions. I don't know if you've noticed, but Dak is top 10 all-time interception percentage, and that's with this bad year. Prior to this year, he was second all-time. So I'm confused on how he was throwing a bunch of interceptions prior to this season. This is an outlier that you hope remains an outlier. Now, if it continues next year and you turn in another 17 interception season, now we got a trend happening here.
Yeah, y'all ain't got a lot of kicking, man.
Right.
Y'all ain't got a lot of kicking, bro. And look, ain't nothing wrong with having an opposite opinion, bro. Like if the facts don't add up, just don't roll with the shit, man. you can be critical of Dak and not lie. You know what I mean? But this is internet, man. So I might be asked for a lot. Coach Marv, who is different from MJ Marv. What's up, Coach?
What's going on, fellas, man?
What's good?
I got something right quick, man.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy Voch. I don't get a chance to talk to you often, but I do watch it.
Appreciate it.
And I'm gonna tell you what's the thing that I look back when the Kellen Moore. I remember after the San Francisco game last year, your show about Kellen Moore and how frustrated you were with this talent at receiver and how the route combination and all the stuff just didn't match up. And that was one of the first shows you had real questions about Kellen Moore. And I think if you think now, we didn't change really nothing from that game to the next game 365 days later.
I do, and look, to be fair, because multiple things can be true at the same time, I do think Kellen Moore made some improvements, but it's just that when we get good at something, Kellen doesn't remain consistent with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think
that's right.
So last year, I think we had a hard time getting CeeDee Lamb and Cooper going. You know what I mean? And Lamb eventually ended up being the guy, but then Cooper have a bad day. So I mean, now we get to see Kellen go to this team. They got 2-3 guys that can do something. So now we can see if he can get that going. But this year, okay, cool. We finally get Lamb going and we find something that works with Lamb. But what stopped happening is, okay, well, we stopped putting Lamb at wide receiver and just at running back and just handed it to him. We stopped, moving him around consistently, right? And look, it's like one game Kellen do great, and the next game is like he forget everything that he just did, and he'll just go back to his old life, right? So it's not the big product with Kellen; it's the small nuances. And when you get to this level, look, Kellen's fantastic for the regular season until you get to the end of the regular season. But when you get to this level, when you get to playoffs versus the number one defense, you can't keep doing the same shit that you did that didn't work. You got to throw your whole sink at the number one defense, and I don't think Kellen throws his whole sink because he be forgetting.
Well, you know something about that quick. You know what you just said? Know what you just gave a definition of?
Yes, sir.
You gave a definition of a coordinator,
yes,
not
sir.
a play caller.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Y'all have a good one, fellas.
Fair enough, man. And look, man, Kellen Moore probably be putting some heat together. He probably be putting some shit together, but he don't call it on Sunday, so that's a good one, Mark. He don't call that shit on Sunday. Appreciate you, man. Yo, Will Steele, I pulled up.
You want that in here?
Yeah, we can go ahead and pull up that real fast. You know what I mean? We can just run a little bit up while we take the next call. We're not doing it. Just watch a little bit of Jalen Carter beat up on old boy that we said was gonna beat up on.
Yeah,
go ahead,
there you go.
Go ahead, DJ.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good afternoon.
What's good with you? What's good?
Not much, man. Not much. So I think, Kellen Moore was rather innovative because I don't know how many formations that man ran 4 curl routes out of, honestly. I mean, it's impressive if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually impressive how many different formations this man did the same thing, run to the sticks and turn around. But honestly, man, I think when it comes all down to this, because we always get sold on the next big thing, or, they did it with Jason Garrett, they did it with Kellen Moore, kind of to a certain extent, they did it with Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
And
my whole thing is, they have the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
For sure.
But the problem is, if the whole world views it as trash, you just like trash.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they've done that multiple times, not only with coordinator and coaches, but they've done it with players as well, from Jalen Smith to how the Zeke contract panned out. But again, I'll defend that one to the day I die because it made sense at the time.
Yeah.
But different players throughout history. So they need to really evaluate who they're willing to pay, and because they want to always be the smartest ones, playing money ball, finding a diamond in the rough, so to speak, the way that they've done. And we like our guys and all that mantra that they've taken over the years. They really need to take a step back on player evaluation, who you're willing to pay the obvious guys, and stop trying to be the smartest people in the room with these contracts.
All right, we cut it with it. Yeah, man. But and Will does a fantastic job of this, way better than me. But this is a top-down problem, man. And I'm hard-headed, so it always takes me a little more time to get all the way up there. You know what I mean? I can always go like base level. I always go, okay, well, players and coaches, da. But Will will look y'all right in the face, like, hey, man, this is a Jones issue. But I don't want people to just take, oh, well, fire Jerry Jones and just be like low-hanging fruit Jerry Jones. But like, give me a list of reasons why this is a Jones problem, why this is a culture problem, why the front office is talking shit about the coach on the radio, you know what I mean? Or why he talking about all the options he got while the damn coach just got the job, you know what I mean? Or why, this team is plenty fit to do this. So it's on, we'll see what my, like, bro, like just get out the camera, get off the microphone and let people do their job, bro, and not put, Sean Payton's fantastic, boy. Show would be a shame if something happened to Mike McCarthy at the end of this year. Like, get out the way, Jerry. Get out the way. So this is really
exactly.
top down, bro.
I feel like, because we don't know for sure, but Jerry hits people with the I want this, I want that, instead of listening to, at least this is how it feels, instead of listening to what coaches need outside of Dan Quinn after they had the worst defense in history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what it took for them to do that. They've always been somewhat competent, if not exceptional at offense, so they've never really done that. So they've always identified themselves. Jerry has identified himself because this is what sells tickets, this is what builds a brand, is offense. So he needs to take a step back, listen to whoever's going to be calling the plays, I don't care, and ask them what they need, like they did with Dan Quinn, and you saw how that panned out. If you do it once, do it again. And that transpired from play calling all the way up of not doing what works multiple times over and over again.
Appreciate you, DJ. Good call, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, yo, look, Will, still something else too, man, because there's gonna be some people that are like, oh, well, Dak had 3 number 1 receivers. Voch, what you gotta say about that? Like, bro, Kellen was running curls with them too. You know what I mean? Cooper loudly said, like, hey, man, like, I can run deep too. Like, we can run deep routes too. Like, I told Dak we about to audible this. It's about to be, you know what I mean? Like,
it's something that people would never talk about is those 3 never really played together.
Yeah.
They just never really did on a consistent basis. The only time all 3 of those dudes even played together with Dak was the first 5 games of 2020. Outside of that, Michael Gallup gets hurt last year early, then gets hurt again. Obviously, they didn't have CeeDee Lamb for the first 3 years of Dak's career. And then this year, no Amari Cooper. So he never really got them 3 wide receivers. We never really got that. I think we got like 15 games. I think that was
right.
15 games of those dudes. And then when it mattered the most, we didn't get them, the playoffs. So,
definitely.
That 3 wide receiver stuff is number ones is goofy. And when he did play with them, he was really good with them. So what are we talking about?
Fair enough. Jack, what's good with you, sir?
Voch.
What's good, player? Voch. What's good, bro?
So I got to do it.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Voch? How you doing?
Everything, my guy. How about you?
Sky, how you doing?
What's up, man? I'm good.
Good. I forgot to answer your question when you asked me where I was at with Mary J's Finest. I'm in D.C. Nation's capital. So if you ever
it's free out there.
Ever want to come on through, let me know.
and we're gonna pull up and we're gonna burn the trees down in the forest. You understand me?
In the forest.
Now, all of them, smoke the bed too. Fuck it. Now, with all due disrespect, baby.
Oh boy.
I think Dak just outgrew Kellen. I think Kellen, everybody's talking about how Dak has reached his ceiling. I think Dak reached his ceiling with Kellen. I also think it was a respect factor. Kellen wasn't somebody that Dak could be like, oh, he's got years. Dak looked at him like, this guy was my backup. Like, he was just my backup. I was just his backup. I beat him out. Now he's my coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a fresh start. I'm glad Kellen got the job over in the Chargers.
Right.
So he can go make them number one and don't do nothing.
Make them number one. That was slick. That was slick as hell. Okay, but go ahead.
I tried to slide that in like second base. Yeah, I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that's just really what's happening. I think Mike McCarthy said, all right, and Jerry Jones gave him the ultimatum. He was like, hey, either you do something or Quinn's sitting right behind you. So I definitely agree with you. I heard you yesterday when you had made that point.
Yeah.
About
Quinn.
That Quinn staying in the background, because who would turn down 3 head coach jobs to stay a defensive coordinator unless you know something? You know, so I think Quinn's sitting on something. And when he came here, they probably had that talk like, hey, look, if this don't work out with McCarthy, you just hang tight. You just sit here by my rib, and I got you. I'm gonna take care of you in the meantime. But I got you. Now he's produced on what he could come in. He came in. He got us to number 1 defense. Yep. He got us leading the league in turnovers back-to-back years. Or takeaways. I ain't gonna say turnovers, takeaways. And I think that just had an abnormal year.
Yes, sir.
That's just it. Like, I don't care if he's had fumbles. Even when he's had 16 turnovers in the season, he still didn't lead the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had 16 turnovers, 6 interceptions, 6 fumbles, but still he had 37 touchdowns.
Right.
I said this to y'all before. They forget all of that. You know, they forget about, just like you said earlier, Scott, Dak's touchdown and interception ratio. They forget about that. They forget that, with that, we're 40 points better than our backup. And every time they say Dak's not a top 10 quarterback, and I've had this conversation all over the DMV, pardon that voice crack, they can't name me 10. They can't name me 10.
Oh, nah.
Statistically, even in the playoffs, they can't name me 10 better quarterbacks than Dak Prescott. They may get to about 7, and then half of those ones, I'm like, oh, they got bench. How's Derek Carr better than him? He got bench.
Right.
What you mean?
Yeah, Jack, man.
Yeah, my bad, home. You know what I'm saying? So that's short-term memory loss, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here burning right now. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Thank you, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. And I got it, bitch. Fuck em.
Appreciate you, JJ.
I love how I do. With all due disrespect.
Yes. That's the thing, man. That's a fantastic promo, man. Listen, bro. People was getting mad at Kellen yesterday on the show. I don't know if you watched it, bro. But, we'll just have people, calling in. I'm like, all right, y'all, kind of get in, make your point, and boogie. And they'll always start good. Like, yeah, Voch about Kellen Moore, blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. But, man, how the hell we get to, 2nd and 2 and we throw an interception? And this is my problem with this team. And Jerry Jones like, hey, whoa, man, keep it on Kellen. 5 minutes later until you call, you know what I'm saying? And it was just 3 people in a row that'll start good and keep it on Kellen, but they'll end up on Schottenheimer or something. They'll end up on what the Eagles doing. They'll end up all over the place, man. So like we just trying to rein these calls in and just keep y'all focused a little bit. But boy, y'all's Cowboy trauma come out the more y'all be talking about these Cowboys, man. So we just in a rough place, man. Cowboy fans in particular, just in a rough place. Cam may have something interesting for us too. So what's up, Cam?
Man, what's up?
You in the bathroom? You need a minute?
No.
I can come back.
But no, you good. But man, one of the things I want to say is I'm glad Kellen Moore up out of there. Pretty much like the guy said, you know, I feel like Dak did outgrow him, you know, as far as, you know, him being the player that he is. But one thing I do want to say, there's no more excuses. We all wanted him gone. There's a lot of Cowboy fans saying it's time for Kellen Moore to get up out of there. So there's no more excuses, Watch. There's none whatsoever. He's going into his 8th or 9th season. You feel me? He has been an outstanding quarterback for us throughout the regular season. Just really couldn't get it done. You know, when the postseason come around. But one thing I feel like, you know, you always, you know, stress to us is that they just got to go out there and play ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Play ball. If you go out there, you follow your assignments, can't nobody stop you. And like I was telling people, if you looked at that 49ers game, Dak missed a lot of open passes that he should have thrown to wide open receivers. So it's just no more excuses. Excuses are over.
Right.
Excuses are over, man.
Right.
And
do you say that about the front office and Jerry Jones? What's his excuse for 30 years?
Mm.
You know, I hear that term excuses. We can't break down. We can't do context without it being called excuse. What is Jerry's excuse for 30 years?
You heard that, Cam?
Why don't we say there's no more excuses for Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and Will McClay, but it's Tony Romo and Dak Prescott?
It ain't no excuse for Jerry. Just like
that's not what we're talking about.
It ain't no excuse for Jerry.
Okay, I'm just waiting for fans to bring that up. You know.
Yeah, facts. You in the GM chair, so GMs are put in position to bring people in, take people out, and examine to see what would make this team better. Jerry, if you don't know nothing about football, if your son don't know nothing about football, and y'all just some rich folks who want to own the team, and just be rich people who own the team, get somebody in that chair that knows what to look for. How he did his thing this year, and I'm not trying to talk about the Eagles, but it's just showing, get somebody in the chair that knows about football. So that way we can stop being disappointed every year when things don't go our way. This year, we didn't have them many weapons. And that's just facts. When you let Cedric Wilson go, that's where that hurted me the most. Because I was like, yeah, Amari Cooper, he shows up sometimes. Not all the time, but he showed up sometimes. But Cedric Wilson, he was an outstanding football player in my eyes. So it's no excuse for Jerry and no excuse for his son. Y'all need to tighten up. Go in this draft. If you want to trade up to get some people, get some people. One thing I said that Randall Gregory, I wish we would have kept him, and this is why I wish we would have kept him, because he would have been the edge rusher to where you can move Michael Parsons around as a chess. You see what I'm saying?
This is interesting. Take.
So to help the defense, we know we need to help the offense, but to help the defense to move Michael Parsons around, go get my boy Will Anderson and put him at the edge rushing position so you can still use Michael Parsons.
All right, Cam. Appreciate you, man. Good call.
That was interesting. He went said was the worst guy to let go, not Cooper. And then what did he say? He said we should have kept Randy of all the guys. That was different.
Now, well, he also had a draft take that I think is some nonsense. He said to go get Will Anderson. Do you know who that is, Will? Still?
Yes. So
for last draft's context, that's like him saying, "Oh, we need to go get Aiden Hutchinson and draft him so he can play on the other side of Michael Parsons." That's what he said, basically.
To trade up, way up.
The dude that's either gonna go number 1, 2, 3, or 4 overall. He said, "We need to go get him." I bet you want to, sir. I bet you love to. Realistic solution. Look, we don't mind nobody being mad, man, but give us a realistic solution, man. Then he said Randall Gregory, like Jerry said. Chill out, man. Let's get Big A on the phone. What's up, Big A?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Cool and player. What you got for the show?
All right. Just
I wanted to just get some. I just wanted to go over something that I noticed. I'm sorry. At least I've noticed recently.
Mm-hmm.
So over the week, like back on, like I think it was like over the weekend, one of those, I forget which one, but one of the radio shows, they brought up this discussion topic of how he believes that they should get rid of he believes that Trayvon should go because he's mad at the fact that he doesn't tackle.
Yeah, I heard that.
And he brought up the fact that like Trayvon didn't make a play on that George Kittle catch that started that touchdown drive. Yeah. And over the weekend I noticed a growing sentiment of Cowboys fans on Twitter coming at Trayvon Diggs about the fact that he's soft as he can tackle. And to me, I'm just like confused in the hell, like this is even being a discussion topic right now, because I remember back when we had Byron Jones and Brandon Carr, guys who tackled, everyone was complaining about them because they couldn't get turnovers. And now that we have a new corner who comes up, who's going into a contract year soon, and he's getting turnovers, everybody's mad because he can't tackle. And I'm like, okay, I feel like as a fandom in general, we gotta figure out what the hell we want. I don't feel like a lot of these fans know exactly what they want from these players because they keep complaining. They just complain about one end or the other so much that we can't experience the good that we have when we have them. But
yep.
That was just something I had to get off.
Yeah, man. Good call, Big A. We about to talk about that for like 3 seconds. Appreciate you, man. He was talking about chat on 105.3 The Fan. I think it was Chiafalo. He said, just we're talking about moving money around the next few seasons and signing guys and extending guys. And he was basically saying that he wouldn't want to sign Trey Diggs to big money. He'll just let him run his contract out and move on and just draft another corner. Because one is easy to find corners. Yeah, because one is easy to find corners. According to him, it's easy to find corners. And two, he's sick of Trey Diggs not being a guy that wants to tackle people. That's what he said.
Wow. I didn't know he felt that damn strong. Trey Diggs is one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He's not perfect.
That's a lot of strength, Will. Still, that's a lot of strength to feel that way.
I mean, look, bro, like, he ain't perfect, but he is a dude that you can be a part of your building block on defense. What are we talking about? And that's interesting because I usually fool with him, but no.
That's a wild one too, boy. But look, Will, he ain't say it calm like I said. He said it with a little bit. And you know what? I'm sick of this guy not wanting to tackle. I mean, I know you get the interceptions and the coverage and all that and the Pro Bowls and all pros. He's fantastic and all that. But you need to go tackle somebody, man. I'm moving on. I'm drafting a corner, and I'm just sitting in LA Fitness like, boy, this is deeper than football. This is something else. Trey says something to you or somebody you love playing. This just can't be. You ain't just finna draft and just because you know why? We just found a Deron Bland in the 5th round. You lucked up and found one because your 2nd and your 3rd round pick from the year before ain't work out. You lucked up on the damn Deron Bland pick in the 5th. Luckily he was there. And this motherfucker say we just gonna move on from Trey Diggs. I'll be damn.
I got a saying, man. Like we need a win. Like we need a win, and I don't mean that like win on Sunday. I mean like we need a win. Whether it be winning the Super Bowl, getting to the Super Bowl, something, the Cowboys need it bad, bro. Because every time it ends badly, is everybody sucks. And the one dude who sits there and smiles through it all that never gets any of the shit thrown in his face because they strategically know how to maneuver. And right now, Trey Diggs is about to go through a battle trying to get paid. And don't be shocked if we start to see some weird shit happening about Trey Diggs, hence the tackling. He didn't get 11 picks this year. Don't be shocked.
Well, I tell you, I don't even like football players that have dreads anyway. We like to find, clean cut players, and he's kind of long. I don't know how we feel about corners that can't turn. We go into the draft. We're gonna look for.
We like position flex. We're going to pay you that amount of money. You need to be able to play the slot. You need to be able to play safety, defensive end, linebacker, defensive tackle. We got to be multiple. Okay, position flex is important here, and that's a lot of money on the pie. There's only but so much pie to go around. And shut up.
Smack shit out, and go straight to jail. But I will smack shit out, Steve. I ain't trying to hit that. Law Nation in the chat. Now listen, Law Nation. I've asked everybody while they was on the spot, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask you while you up in here. It ain't got to be today, but I'm thinking like Thursday. Friday typically works for us. It's probably I'm thinking Friday. Law Nation, you want to try to get a round table in Friday, sir? I think Will down for Friday. I think Foot's down for Friday, but Foot's be changing their mind and shit. And Koya go live wherever. Law Nation, you down for Friday? Bosh ain't doing nothing. Down Friday night, Law Nation. You know what I'm saying? While you're in the chat, let us know, man. Let us know what you're thinking about. And we'll let everybody know what you're saying. I'm putting you on the spot there, sir.
If
Reek,
Law
what's
Nation,
happening?
if Law Nation ain't, his twin is.
Yeah, somebody
Hey.
right. What's up, Reek?
Hey, what's going on?
Coolin',
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Coolin', sir. We know how you feel, but go ahead and tell us.
Yeah, you already know I want to Kellen Moore up out the paint.
Yeah.
He's out of the paint. I think a little bit more now. I think that Jerry is starting to realize something, that he keep getting close to the finish line to get pushed all the way back. I think he's tired of that shit. And what will really show me that he's tired, get Dak Prescott everything that he needs. You know what I mean? Get the man everything that he needs. Get the coaches in here that can coach of his line. Get him a quarterback's coach. And let's see what Mike McCarthy is going to be cooking. Because last time I checked, when Mike McCarthy won the Super Bowl, he had about three, four weapons over there in Green Bay that had good catching skills, and they all did their thing individually. That's what we need. That's what Dak needs. And we need another running back. But other than that, I'm happy to see Kellen going again. I really believe people need to calm down a little bit on Dak. Yeah, Dak had a suspect year. I know Dak has not been able to get over the hump all the way, but he has made some pushes. So people got to give him a little bit of credit for being Tom Brady. This team hasn't beat Tom Brady. Dak beat Tom Brady when it counted the most. I don't want to hear nothing about that. And he looked good beating him. Yeah. Us as a team, we lost that game. It was more the offense than the defense, but the defense, they had some woes too in that playoff game. But I really believe that Mike McCarthy can calm everything down and run the show like he wants to run the show. And hopefully the Joneses assist him in that, as far as backing off, letting him do what he got to do as far as his offense, and get him the pieces that he needs on the offense, and get the defense some more pieces too. I really believe that we got a shot. I don't think that this team is that far off from getting over the hump. If they make the right requirements in this off season and be serious about it, and put this team together, because this team is almost there. You got the coaches, you got a couple of the head coach and the defense coordinator.
Just let go of half of the coaches.
Motherfuckers gone. Ain't here no more. Them coaches ain't here no more. No. Got the coach. We ain't got it no more.
No, I said the head coach. I said the head coach, the defense coach, and the special.
They want to fire the head coach.
You said we got the coaches. Them people gone. They ain't here no more.
Well, as long as we got Bones, as long as we got Dan, as long as we got McCarthy, I think that's a good start. You just got to fill in the rest of the pieces and get this team retooled up and ready to go. Because all the people that are sitting here talking about Dak, putting them down and all that, y'all gonna be the same one holding this jock strap at the end of the year next year when we're raising that Lombardi. So I don't care about none of you haters. I'm rocking with Dak. I'm rocking with this team. Let's do it. Jones and step your game up. Let's go, man.
Appreciate you, Reed. Good call, man.
I wanted to touch on something you said earlier, but it then went off the rails. Because I've been saying this, and a lot of people are saying this. Got to get, what Dak need. Like, look, obviously you got to get the quarterback what he need, but it ain't just what he need. Like, what about what Tony Pollard needed? CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, Kevontae Turpin, Michael. Now Gallup was hobbled, but these are guys that I think could have been utilized in certain ways at certain times, and they never were in my opinion, to the level that they have the ability to be. And I know we're all pissed off at Turpin, but damn, it would sure been nice to see what he could do on offense. Jake Ferguson, it's criminal that he didn't get more opportunity in the passing department. Tony Pollard, as great of a year as he had, he still wasn't, in my opinion, utilized correctly. And then CeeDee Lamb he was the only receiver, so they was doing what they could do with CeeDee Lamb. But what about what those guys need, or whoever the hell comes in next year, right? Who you get in free agency or who you draft? That's important too. Obviously players matter, but can we get the coach to maximize the players that have the ability? I haven't felt confident in that in a long time.
I just think Kellen gets overwhelmed with all the different guys that he has here. You know what I'm saying? Just having to think on the fly and having to revert back to what you know. You know what I'm saying? Just like the fight game, man. You learn all these little techniques, but you get in the fight, you just go back to swinging wildly. Like you just go back to what you know, man.
And the wild thing is, brother, this year he didn't have to worry about, man, how am I gonna get Cooper the ball? How am I gonna get CeeDee Lamb and Gallup and Cedric? How am I gonna get all these dudes the ball? He didn't have to worry about that because he didn't have a goddamn Amari Cooper on a goddamn team. You didn't have a bunch of those running around. You had Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, and a couple guys that you can get involved in a creative way. And you still, in my opinion, didn't utilize the dudes to their best ability. And that's just me. Maybe y'all say, well, CeeDee Lamb he had a fantastic season. Well, Tony Pollard went to the Pro Bowl. He did, but in my opinion, he could have had an even crazier year. 39 receptions. Get the hell out of here, though.
Through all that nonsense, Tony Pollard only had 1,000 yards, bro.
Your mama sure does care about your scores.
So, just me personally, when I hear give Dak this, give Dak that, I hear you and I understand you got to give quarterbacks weapons, but then also give those weapons somebody too. That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Law Nation said yes, by the way. So we'll work on putting that together. I'll hit the group chat tonight or tomorrow. Or I might just hit the fucking group chat Friday. Be like, hey, y'all want to do something tonight? You know what I mean? We'll still hate when I do that.
I do. But now I know it's Friday, so you ain't going to surprise me, motherfucker.
And something else that Reek said too before we move on.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy has run these offenses and he's had multiple weapons there. The one thing I always go back to is how he uses running backs. Like, Mike McCarthy lived in this world where he had, like a Lacey, and then like Montgomery was like a change of pace, catchy dude, but James Starks was like his number 2 guy, and all those dudes kind of got going with Jennings at wide receiver, with Randall Cobb at wide receiver. I think that was past Donald Driver's time, but that was like right before Devontae Adams. But Mike McCarthy has and John Kuhn, you know what I'm saying? He was a big part of that.
He's
thing.
a big fullback guy. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, sure. So, Kellen may not can run an offense with 9 dudes that can play, but if Mike McCarthy's going to be calling plays, then we can damn near bank on the idea that he's going to get multiple guys involved. I don't know how modern this offense is going to look, but at least it's going to be getting multiple guys involved, and it's going to be relatively simple. So we'll see. Last call for the day. Let's get 662 White on the phone. Then we're going to read supers. Then we're going to get up out of here. What up, White?
What's going on, Voch? What's going on, Steele?
Cool and Playboy. What's happening with
you? Man, a few of your calls today is the exact reason why I don't argue with some Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh, boy.
I got a couple points and I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
Cowboy fans.
I think this offense is going to be more stable under Mike McCarthy. I think by week 3, week 4, we'll have identity. We never had an identity these past few years under Kelly. 1 week we run the ball. Next week we're throwing the ball 40 times. I think we'll be more stable with Mike. And one question for y'all. I think we're going to get one of these players in the offseason. Which one would y'all rather have? Deron Payne, Luke, DeAndre Hopkins, or Jalen Ramsey? And that's all I got for y'all. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
What was his question?
He said, just assuming that hypothetically the Cowboys sign one of these guys in the offseason, who would you rather have? Deron Payne, DeAndre Hopkins, or Jalen Ramsey?
Deron Payne, DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, my God. What the kind of question is that? Anyone? I had to think.
All of them we can afford this shit. Give me all
shit. What am I going to be complaining about? Not a one of them dudes. So I don't. Whatever. Deron Payne, I guess. I mean, I really don't. Either one of those, man. Like, what are we?
They all will help you at some point.
Yeah, they all will help you at positions you absolutely need help, right?
Yeah. If I had to pick though, I'm into making a superpower even bigger superpower. You know what I'm saying? I love overkill. So
corner
Deron Payne mixed in with like Osa and like Hankins, if Hankins is back, but Deron Payne and Osa and them, like that just seems interesting to me. But I know that my defense is good. You know what I mean? Like we can figure out cornerback too, but we got guys coming back healthy or whatever, so I ain't really worried about the cornerback 2 situation. Sure. Rams would be fun, but Rams ain't really have a good season last year or whatever. He been getting picked on for real. It'd probably be Hopkins for me, you know what I'm saying, for the wide receiver help. I'll sign Hopkins and I'll draft a guy and I'll still go get Brandon Cooks. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to load up on. I mean, look, that's what the Eagles did. Salary cap is a myth, man. I don't want nobody to tell me nothing about the salary cap, man. Them boys, the salary cap do not exist. And Will been saying this shit for months now. Matt Owen been saying this shit for months now. Just go get your dudes, man. Get your dudes, and them dudes ain't even gonna exist one day on your cap. And just go for it, man. Just shoot your shot. But that is what that is. But I love Will still answer. He say shit, either one.
Anybody. Like because he talking about all positions. I thought it was I didn't hear the players, but yeah, any one of those dudes, man. I ain't complaining.
Yeah, basically D tackle, wide receiver, or cornerback. We're gonna be answering those questions for the rest of the off season. So it's what it is. Super. I need to go find the Future songs. So I get one of them sound drops where you say super. I can read my supers after that. That'd be dope.
Yeah, I did this
super chat.
Ended up creating that thing. Something I kept on.
Well, because you're a genius, Will. Still.
No, I heard it on something similar. I just
stole it
a little bit. Yeah, put a little twang on it.
On the volume side, Real Sports Talk dropped a dime. Appreciate you. What do you think about tagging Tony Pollard? And if Bijan is there, do you draft him at 26? If Bijan is there at 26, do you draft him, use him and TP for a year, and then let TP walk and let Bijan? Boy, y'all really thought this through. And let Bijan be the long-term guy with another late round back to keep him fresh. So you drafting two running backs, and you tagging Tony. While we need wide receivers, corners, linebackers,
bro. No, don't get me wrong. I know the Niners did what they did, but the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl with Bart Scott, Miles Sanders, Deion Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, and they fourth running back Jalen Hurts. They going to the Super Bowl. I don't really. They got 4 running backs that wasn't drafted in the first round or paid $18 million a year. I don't need that.
And on the other side, Will Steele, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the first round pick that the Chiefs picked, he can't get on the field because Isaiah Pacheco is a beast. A 7th round pick, Isaiah Pacheco, mixed in with a little bit of Jerick McKinnon is getting the job done. I'm good, man. And that's listen. I love Tony Pollard, but I think the injury made me come back. You know how you remember in That's So Raven where she has that vision. Yeah.
When Tony broke his ankle, the vision, it just came to me like, oh wait, I forgot this is a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I want Tony Pollard, but damn it, I don't think we need a Tony Pollard.
Got to move on. Somebody said Clyde is hurt. His ass ain't been hurt because I've been trying to draft Clyde in fantasy football for years and he ain't done nothing. So this ain't brand new. And then somebody say Bijan better than Clyde. Pacheco is also better than Clyde.
But get me a coordinator in here that know how to run the rock and watch how all this shit change up.
Change up, bro. It changed right up. Schottenheimer's a good run game guy, but he ain't gonna be the guy allegedly. So we'll see.
That's what I heard today. Yeah, it's not really a thing in that building, but we'll see.
They be lying and shit. But I don't know. We got time to figure this out. And King Element dropped a dime and says, I'm not dropping the guy who started playing cornerback late in college and became an all-pro in his second NFL season. The man ain't even peaked yet. Elite number 1 corners do not grow on trees. That was on the Trey Diggs conversation earlier. That's the point.
Apparently, quarterbacks and number 1 corners grow on trees, man. That's
it's an evil world we live in. Will still gotta be careful out here, man. Shouts out to them boys over there, though, man. You know, we ain't saying nothing crazy. And on the Voch side, cool. Texas Angler Detailing. Appreciate you, sir. Drop 5, it says, Kellen Moore play caller wasn't always good. You can't say he isn't a top 10 coordinator. How big of an L do we take if we don't hire a top 10 coordinator? Well, I think every time one of these new teams, they just, they turn into these offensive superpowers of, it's always some dude I've never heard of in my life. You know what I mean? Steichen, I never heard of him. Kafka. I remember him being drafted because I was playing Madden at the time or whatever. But I don't even remember him calling plays for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Mike McDaniels, Will still had to tell me about Mike McDaniels. It's always like a big surprise for me. Like it's rarely, this does happen though, but it's rarely that some offense coordinator came from some other place and then he goes to another place and that team that was bad at offense turns into a good offense. It's always this new wave. It's always these new young guys that seems to be the new trend in the league or whatever. So I don't think you necessarily have to get a top 10 offensive coordinator. I just think you got to find a dude that knows how to use dudes. First of all, get better dudes and then find a dude that know how to use dudes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it don't have to be, like you said, top 10. When I say top 10, we don't know. Maybe that dude turns into top 10. But can I get a guy in here that can run a screen properly? Can I get a guy in here that can use your weapons? I mean, I can't tell you how detrimental it was to not be able to run a screen. But this is the type of stuff that they're not going to talk about out here today is, hey, man, Kellen Moore's free. He about to go turn up over there in L.A. All right. I mean, he probably going to have some good game stuff. But let's not act like this guy was Mr. Perfect here. Stop it.
And this is about to be a game of patience. Kellen Moore going to tear shit up for about 10 games. But boy, they're going to get to the end of the season. They're going to get to the playoff. They're going to get the big games. And they're going to totally forget everything that they did good in the first time. And I'm not saying that hating on Kellen Moore, but that's what he did when he was here. That's what he did when he was here, man. So,
Mr. BD, you could say guys that could block the screen, but I could show you terrible offensive lines that know how to properly run a screen because they're coached to. There's no denying. Since Kellen Moore has been the offensive coordinator, the Cowboys have not been able to run the screen properly consistently. That is a coaching problem over a 4-year period.
Linehan ain't a top 10 guy, and he had all kind of motherfuckers running screens. He had Joe Looney, and he had all kind of little goofy ass people run, like Bernardo and them, Parnell and them. All them boys was running screens, and we just Leary. I mean, Leary was good, but Leary wasn't no athlete. But boy, he was coached properly. You know
Easy buttons, bro. Easy buttons. We don't got them.
Yep.
Oh, we didn't.
I mean, shit. We got athletes at offensive line right now. It's just, see y'all let me know. That's all the supers we got for the day. Appreciate y'all. Lay y'all to pieces. Let me get back to.
Hey, we got a Pro Bowl center. Did you see that?
Who got hurt?
Nah, Kelsey's going to the Super Bowl, so.
Oh, okay.
So they put Tyler Biadasz in the Pro Bowl.
Okay, so somebody.
When you say Tyler Biadasz's name,
oh boy, Pro Bowl
center Tyler Biadasz.
Biadasz. Oh man, quit snubbing my boy Terrence Steele, man. Even though he hurt. Let's get this in before we wrap up. Will said my back hurts so bad, man. This is crazy. Put this off.
Yeah, but I was like, wait, what is happening? What is going on?
I had this on loop, but I hit the button on accident, right? But it don't cut off when I hit it because it's on loop. It ain't on latch. So if I hit it again.
Bro, I thought I heard somebody screaming in the background.
Ain't nobody screaming over here? Call CPS over me. All right, let's cut this shit off. Here we go.
Heads and beds.
Now. Sit your boy, if you don't come in. All right, here we go. Marcus Hardison, I missed the damn. Hold on. I'd have missed. Hold on, man. Here we go. All right, here we go. Marcus Hardison says, at the volume, that's me and Will Steele today because he's here, right? So, at the volume, a leader is best when people barely knows he exists.
Oh, shit.
Even his work is done. Shit, hold on. Okay, wait. I fucked it. At the volume, a leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done and his aim is fulfilled, the powers that be will say, we did it ourselves. Will, that's crazy. I fucked it up, but hold on. Let me run it back. Because Will, that's crazy. Hold on. That's crazy. Hold on. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done and his aim is fulfilled, the powers that be will say, We did it ourselves. You get me?
This
So,
is a shot
Mike
at Jerry, I'd imagine.
Yes. Yeah. Look, Jerry Jones should get the fuck out the way, right? He should get out the way, right? And if anybody's gonna save this thing, let's just say Mike McCarthy saves this thing, right? Let's just say Mike McCarthy saves this thing, right? You already know Jerry Jones gonna be the one to push everybody out the way to get to the front and be like, yeah, I did that, Playboy. I did that. Jones just did that, Playboy.
And look, nobody would argue. All right, cool.
No.
You hired the dude. Congratulations.
The powers that be. That's madness, boy. Hey, Marcus Hardison, sir, this war call is for you. Nobody else. Everybody else get out the way or drop flames in the chat if you want to. Marcus, this is for you, sir. That was strangely specific. That was strangely specific, dog. Anyway, fantastic show, y'all. Love you to pieces. We have a lot to update you on, so listen up close and escuchar. Me and Jeff Kavanaugh going live at 7 p.m. Central. We got Scoutcast. Twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. That's the non-football platform. Patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. I think today, after we get off of here, we're gonna run to Patreon. Maybe tomorrow we'll decide. But we're gonna watch Jalen Carter on Patreon either today or early tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Use promo code VOCH20 for Manscaped.com to get you a what they call it, get you a hedge shit to get the damn clip.
Get the lawnmower, yeah.
To get the beard trimmer, you know what I'm saying? The beard hedger, 20% off promo code VOCH20. And hit all the likes on the volume, subscribe to the volume. Will Steele is on A to Z Dallas. He does fantastic work. His show is a precursor to my show. So 8 o'clock, 8:30 in real life till about 10 o'clock. Watch him on YouTube, A to Z Dallas, and Skywalker Steele on social media. Skywalker, Steele. Appreciate you, sir, for being fantastic. Appreciate y'all for showing in. Y'all hold down for the Doski, Woski, and Peasky Whiskey. Now, Mondays and Wednesdays are going to be Cowboy Talk. Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be Draft Talk. Volume.
Beats Planet.